Hey guys, welcome back to the Submerged Podcast. I'm Camila and this is my dad Benji. This is episode 13, and if you have not checked out our other episodes, they are on Spotify and on YouTube.
Lucky 13, welcome. And welcome to a short, sweet one, but a very good one, yeah. This is into a kind of a different generational feel here. We're going to play with some nostalgia. We're going to play with the modern, try to compare. I think that's been the theme even in the last episode that we did. Top Gun Maverick, #1 movie, right? I think the most popular movie for Tom Cruise with over 800 million in terms of blockbuster.
Yeah. People are going insane for this movie.
They are going insane, and there's a reason why, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, if you have not seen it, sorry, spoiler alert. Just
go watch it.
Go watch it. And if you really want to do the movie justice, watch the original.
Yeah, you need to know like the plot of the first movie before you go watch the second movie. I kind of made
and
that
mostly
mistake.
the characters.
Well, yeah, that too. But I also mostly made that mistake of like not watching the first movie in like 10 years. So I was like, I had to remind myself, but it's fine. I still enjoyed the second movie.
Yes.
It was good. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it. You know, first of all, we'll talk about the movie itself. We'll talk about different plot lines, funny stuff. But for me, it felt a return to the popcorn afternoon that I felt in the 90s, in the early 2000s, where something was exciting. There was a lot more people in the movie theater for the first time coming out of lockdowns, and people being fearful of the cinema. And I feel like this movie has brought people back, and the craving, and even from the numbers I've seen from Jurassic Park, for example,
Yeah.
it seems, well, yeah, we're not, but it seems that that feel is back, right? And,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna, Tom Cruise, you bastard, you did it again.
Bro.
Right?
Yeah.
So he was the king before, like others are, but he really hit a home run here.
Yeah.
So let's talk again generally about just the movie as a movie. Without, if you didn't know anything, what did you think overall?
I think it was like, well, I mean, if you haven't watched the first movie, obviously you won't appreciate the nostalgia, but I've watched the first movie and I thought that it hit like some pieces in my heart from the first movie where I was like, oh, this is cute, this is nice, and I think that the guys were really attractive and the casting was really good for that. And I think that I don't really like action movies in general, but I liked the whole airplane fighting scenes and all those stuff like that. That was kind of cool to me, and especially since that they're doing the shots like themselves. And I was watching a bunch of videos online about them going through training to try and learn how to fight the jets and whatnot. And it's just cool. Like, damn, that's your job. Like, you just get to go learn how to fly fighter jets and make a movie out of it, That's like a double whammy to me. Like, you're knocking something off your bucket list in life and you get to make a movie out of it. Like, that's cool. Like, I don't know. I thought it was cool.
I think that's the major difference between the technology one, but then the physical exertion that the actors went through, or Tom Cruise wanted them to go through to make this movie. They were not piloting, but maybe Tom Cruise was a couple of times because he has licenses for everything.
Apparently.
I think next is massage therapist, and so he had them in these planes doing, going through these forces and these G forces.
They had to do a bunch of breathing exercises.
It's intense. So when you are in the action, not that, even watching the original, it was pretty exciting, but they're in a studio in a makeup cockpit and they're being shaken around.
Yeah.
Like he's like, do you see him, Maverick? See him, Goose? That type of thing.
Yeah.
This one, it's like they can't even.
Yeah.
The intensity. So that added this hyper realism, which we kind of started to see in Mission Impossible, right? And
especially aren't they making another?
Well, yes, but there was a helicopter scene with Henry Cavill. Wink, wink. My wife likes him. That was super realistic because they were shooting, and it was him and Tom Cruise like doing their live action, doing their own stunts, and also in helicopters. This time we're in the plane, so I thought that added just another element to it in terms of the action.
Yeah, I think so too.
Now the overall movie, I think they do a good job at tugging at your heart from the nostalgic standpoint. I'll talk about the scene that got me.
Oh my god.
But let's talk about your comment. Sure, there's some hotties that are young, everybody's in shape, it's insane. But I understand, the movie's called Top Gun Maverick, right? But my criticism is we didn't get to know,
some of the
characters.
Okay.
Now listen, it was limited in the first movie, like Hollywood only was in a couple of scenes, and so was the other guys. But I don't think I connected so much with the other kids. And like the dick of the movie, it was supposed to be the Iceman, and now listen, I've even forgotten his call sign.
Same, I don't remember it.
You see? And that's where there's a problem. I feel like they don't do enough to connect me and help me. But that means there's not going to be a sequel. Or is there?
Well, I don't know.
Well, that's it. This is where the only disappointment I had is that I understand it was about Tom Cruise and I understand it was about Maverick, but he could have given us a little more about the supporting cast.
I wanted more Rooster backstory or whatever. Like, I get it, he's depressed and like mad at Tom Cruise for killing his dad, but like at the same time, like, I don't have any compassion for you because like I don't really know what you went through emotionally or anything. They didn't really give a backstory, so I'm like, well, you're just being a dick. Like, it wasn't his fault. Like, you're just being mean. Like, And that's why I was, like, confused. I was like, why are they being so mean to him? They didn't really give, like a backstory to Rooster and, like, his emotional, like, what he went through.
Well, they explained
with his mom. Like, I don't know. Like, what happened in the house after the dad died? Like, was it a good reaction from the mom? Like, was the mom abusive after? Like, what happened?
You certainly don't think Meg Ryan's character is going to be abusive.
I know, but like
what they told you is that he held him back in naval school. He held him back 4 years at the behest of the mom, Yes, but the mom didn't want him to go through the same. I think that was enough for me. But guess what? Because of the bastard that is time, and also Hollywood, we didn't get to, Meg Ryan's not in it. They had her die off. I mean, they don't even talk about the love interest from the past. So, but which we understand. But I think that would have maybe added to the Rooster element. It would have been nice to have maybe, I don't know, even a CGI shot of the past of seeing, Meg Ryan, his mother, Goose's wife. But I think they did their best what they could to build that relationship and to create that emotional bond.
Right.
But so then
it worked. I like started crying and I was like,
so see, it worked for you because
he picked him. Yeah, it was like that, but still, I was kind of low key. I was like, well, who is this Rooster kid for real? Like, they didn't even go into depth about his personality, like anything to me,
Yeah, we needed a little more Rooster.
Yeah.
And also, it brings me to then, you talked about hotties, then volleyball scene, original movie versus...
No, the volleyball scene always
football
wins.
Scene. Volleyball scene
always
wins, right?
But the football scene was like so great. I don't know why they had that one girl in the football scene. Like, get out. Like, I'm trying to look at Rooster. Like, this is
we're in the woke era, so you got to have a girl there, and they're she's allowed to play. She looks like she was doing a good job. Sure.
But come on.
Yes, you wanted to see guys without their shirts off, and you did.
You should have seen me in the movie theater. I had to sit up, and I had to look at the screen, and I started hitting the chair, and I was like, there's no way this is real, because I was like dying. I was literally dying. Yeah. And I started drooling, and people were like, you're drooling, and I was like, oh, sorry. Because literally that was the best thing I think I've ever seen in my life.
And
that was the best part of the movie.
In the original movie, these guys were in shape, but they were in 80 shape, which is pretty much just have a dumbbell in your room and go run a few miles every single day.
Yeah.
No, but they were in shape. I mean, apart from Goose, still look like a pollo de suisal. At least his son, he got in shape for it.
His son is looking real mighty good in this movie.
Yeah. If you like Miles Taylor, by the way, go check him in Whiplash.
Footloose.
No, Footloose.
He's in the recreation.
He's a
of
recreation Footloose, but I like it. I think Whiplash is extraordinary, and he was fantastic in that. So he's certainly a talented actor. We look forward to seeing him in other roles.
And shirtless.
So, did you dig the 1980s stash?
Yes.
Yes.
Dude,
so how come when I do a mustache, I get canceled?
You look like a Mexican immigrant. So
Camila.
He's like, no, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't. And you just don't look good with it. Like,
why?
Because you just no. Like he.
That's not fair. So Miles Taylor looks alright with it.
Yeah.
So that means I have to take off my shirt and get ripped for 6 months.
No.
Then the mustache will work.
I
think there's some bias here.
No. It depends on the person, and it works for Miles. It's giving, and it's literally become a whole trend on like.
The mustache works for Abuelo.
No, okay.
He's not ripped like Miles.
Yeah, but that.
But why? Why does it work for him and not for me? This is bullshit.
You don't need to be ripped to have a nice mustache. It just depends on your face, and you don't know.
I don't have a face for mustache.
It's either fully shaved or with a beard. Like I'm hating on your mustache. Like every time you look like you belong in Texas. Every time that you do a mustache and you just look like you belong in Texas, and you're gonna like
so much for Movember.
Whiskey at me. Like no, you look like you listen to country music and you have a horse and you're crying about your ex-wife.
Yeah, but that's pretty good. That's a good look for me.
No.
Okay, well we'll let the fans decide.
No.
No. Could that be a question for the fans?
Okay, in the comments section, do you think Dad would look good with a mustache?
Stash or no stash? Would Benji look good with a Top Gun stash?
Stash or country dude from Texas that listens to Carrie Underwood?
No, okay. Well, how about this? Also, maybe I'll let it grow a bit, and for the next episode, I'll stash it up.
I'm not coming.
Why not? But that's not fair because
I'm not being.
We need people.
That.
I'll be sending you everybody.
That's disgusting.
Everybody who says it's decent, you're gonna get a card from me.
No.
So forget about me. What about in general? So do you think this stash has a? I just saw a guy at the World Swimming Championship, an Italian guy. He went for the stash, but you were hating on his stash.
Well, it looked bad on him.
But that's not fair. Well, I thought it looked pretty decent.
Again, it depends on the type of person. It depends on the face. It depends on your personality. Like, I don't think the stash goes with you because I don't see you as some like country dude or whatever. But like, it works. It works for Miles Teller.
I'm out.
Cause he's giving country vibes. You know, like he's hot. Like yeah, you do that. But no, not you.
Okay.
Like, for real. Even Mom thinks it's ugly.
Okay,
if we thought it was cute.
Okay, I think you've made your point. Thank you very much for that.
If we thought it was cute, you'd have it all the time.
Moving on.
We think it's ugly.
You've made your point. Thank you.
Okay, sorry.
So
I've hurt his heart.
So what else about Top Gun that did you like, and what would something that surprised you? What would you bring up?
The soundtrack.
The soundtrack.
I thought the soundtrack was good.
Mm-hmm.
Did they play Take My Breath Away?
They did not.
Yeah, I got upset at that.
Yeah.
Because I was really waiting for that song. But they played Danger Zone. I think that's my favorite one. And then the scene when they're all in the bar playing on the piano with the goodness gracious, great balls. That was a good one.
That was a good one.
I like that. So I like the soundtrack for the movie. I think it was good.
And by the way, shout out to Steve Path because he's the one who picked up from the first movie right before Tom gets sent to Top Gun. And also getting scolded by his, I forget, admiral, lieutenant, I forget what it is. He says something with an admiral's daughter. And Goose says, Penelope Benjamin, something like that. And turns out that he has a relationship with Penelope. And she's working at a bar on a base. So we haven't, I didn't research it, but we haven't got that confirmation. But that was a nice little connection with the first movie. What do you think of as Maverick now in his late 50s, because you know that's what Tom Cruise's age is, you know, striking up this relationship again and with his smile and laugh with Penelope? What do you think?
Slay.
He's you like their relationship?
He's almost like 60, or wait.
Yeah, he's 59, 60. I think.
He's almost 60 and he's still getting bags, so good for you, man. I think he looks good. Like, I'd let him be my sugar daddy. Like, he's that attractive. So, you know, if he wants to go find a relationship, he could do that. Because he pulled. And I don't think she's ugly.
Nobody said she's ugly.
Yeah,
this is Jennifer Connelly. She's been in fantastic movies.
There's
one movie with Don Johnson where she was, I think, naked by a lake and making out with another girl. 100% if you go see
okay.
it. It's called The Hot Spot or something like that from the 1980s.
Okay, cool.
But she was, for me, I preferred her. She was a little fuller. She had a little more meat on her bones.
Yeah, she
I
looked a little skinny.
I find her emaciated, a little too skinny for my
Is
taste.
she doing big Botox?
What a lot of
face
actors
looks a
do.
little,
So
like,
I think Tom Cruise
like,
has
you know.
also,
Well, him too.
and the teeth also.
Yeah. But he's in shape.
He's in
doing
shape,
well.
yeah.
He's knocking things off his bucket list. Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him with this movie.
But it was exciting. So if the enemy was known in the first movie, the Russians and their MiGs, this time they just talk about fifth generation or new generation jets, and they didn't say who the enemy was. It was weird. So that to me was like, why? I feel like they didn't want to piss off either the Russians, they didn't want to piss off the Iranians, but they kind of said, well, this country is developing or enriching uranium in a mountain. I'm like, I wonder where that country is or what that does. So I think maybe in the woke era, we can't have enemies anymore, as if like the Cold War ever ended in the first place.
Right.
But that to me was the only one where I'm like, yeah, just like give him the nationality. And it's not like we didn't do it in Iron Eagle 2, Iron Eagle 3, the whole 1980s Rocky was always the Russians, Red Dawn, it was the Cubans and with the Russians. So stop trying to pretend now in the woke era that we don't have enemies or there's another country we don't want to piss off.
Yeah.
But apart from that, then, as I said, the action was spot on, good testosterone, good nostalgia. And then obviously I'm going to bring the more emotional part for me, Val Kilmer. So for a lot of people who have not seen the documentary Val on Amazon Prime, I highly suggest you go see it, because Val is a method actor, or he deems himself a proper artist, and I think he is. And so, even in the first Top Gun movie, the lines were just far and few in between, and there wasn't much meat behind the character. That Val Kilmer invented a whole backstory, like he was abandoned by his father, he had daddy issues, and that's why you get Iceman. That's why you get this tension between him and Tom. Also, what Val did on the set, he took Hollywood and the other guys who played the actors that were closer to him, and he created a separate group. Like, he didn't hang out with Anthony Edwards, Goose, and Tom Cruise and Maverick. And so that's genius. And I think we watch the first movie, you pick on that, right? You pick up on that. And so in this one, due to his present condition and the fact that he couldn't speak, and he's speaking through a computer, really got to me.
Was that in real life though?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, he can talk, but it's very strained. It's super strained. And so they played it within he could have said something, but it was super strained. So to me, that scene, when they're together, was super touching.
Yeah.
And
it wasn't good for any of us. We started bawling.
Yeah,
everybody was looking at each other. Everybody was like, what the just happened, bruh?
Yeah. So Iceman, we love you, Iceman, Val Kilmer. We wish you the best. I thought, go see anybody who's a fan of Val Kilmer, go see the documentary Val. Watch Willow, watch his movies, Tombstone. He is absolutely amazing in that. There's like a dedicated fan base to him that goes to see him every single year in Austin, Texas, I believe. But yeah, that he's in the movie. Thank God he got featured, but it got to me.
I mean, I was like fine, but my friends were like bawling, and I was like, "Are you good?" Like,
yeah. So yeah, any concluding words on Top Gun? We obviously it's a massive go see it, right?
Yeah.
Massive encouragement.
It's a fun family movie, you know. I feel like everybody watched Top Gun, the original, with their family. I don't know, maybe just me, but so it's a fun like family movie, or if you want to go with your friends, and it's not a waste of your money.
No, it's a summer popcorn movie. I suggest you go see it on a large screen. Go see it on IMAX or Dolby or whatever the best sound quality. You won't regret it, because when from an action standpoint, those jets, you're gonna feel like your seat vibrating.
I said this in one of the first episodes we filmed on the podcast, that some movies are make-out movies. This is not a make-out movie.
Yes.
Don't waste your time making out with someone. Watch the movie, okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is no like, is this a Twizzler or is this something else? This is not that moment. This is
time to watch the football scene. Yes.
For women and for men, watch the action.
Men can watch
feel
the
vulnerable.
football scene too.
We know Tom. So since we are entering Cancer season and astrology, summer solstice on the 21st tomorrow, then we have also Tom Cruise being in Cancer. He tried his best to tug at our heart. So thank you, Tom Cruise. You did a good job there without going too cheesy.
Too cheesy now.
So yeah. So shout out.
Yeah.
Where can people find us, Camila?
You guys can find us on Spotify and on YouTube at Submerge Podcast and on Instagram too at Submerge Podcast, where you can get updates, check our notifications and stuff. And yeah, we'll see you guys soon.
Beautiful. We'll see you soon. We might have a special guest in the next episode if something arrives from my country.
We hope.
So more for that.
Yeah.
And so tune in. Thanks,
Stay
guys.
tuned.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.